All right, today's interview is with a local streamer and YouTuber just like us. Today we have.
Howdy, my name is Wade. I go by the handle of Master Sergeant Porkins.
All right, hey Wade, where are you originally from?
I was born and raised here in Boise.
Oh,
And,
okay.
I'm 35 years old. I've been here my entire life. So yeah, I'm definitely a local kid.
Yeah.
So I've been to a lot of other places outside the valley. I've been lucky enough to travel to 50 states and a couple of countries and stuff. So I've got to see a little bit of the country and everything. But I always come back to Boise, and it's always been my home. So
Good, good. True local guy. So what made you get into YouTube? What drew you to it?
YouTube, when it was first coming out, my little brother had showed me a few videos from people that were on there and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. It's a very artistic thing to kind of get out and to be seen and everything. One of the biggest things that I saw about it was that there were some YouTubers that were out there that weren't just using it for fame; they were using it for helping others. They were using them for doing everything from say for instance, making certain diseases, knowledgeable to the public or whatnot, doing, campaigning, fundraising and stuff like that. And I thought, that'd be a great way to help bring certain things to light that, not only would I be able to grow large and build a community and not just something that people just build like, oh, I want to be this big, massive superstar. No, I wanted to build something around me that was bigger than me. And I've always been an entertainer. I've done things from just like stand-up comedy and stuff like that. I was amateur stand-up comedy, and I even did some stuff as a burlesque MC for a while.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty interesting. So I've done things like being a bouncer, taxi driver, and stuff like that. And I've done that in the past, and it's just I've always liked being people, and gaming has been a big part of me growing up. So I was like, why can't I just put both of them together? So let's just go for it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that was my first inspiration as well. Is that trying to figure out, okay, what do I want to do with my life and everything. And the number one thing I kept going back to is the fact that I really like entertaining people. When I get somebody else to laugh, I get them to smile. It makes me feel good about myself. It gives you that warm fuzzies inside. And so I kind of had that same moment where I was like, why can't they be the same? I think my biggest inspirations were IGN and like GameSpot and their different podcasts that they have. What would you say was your main inspiration for what you're doing?
My main inspiration was one of the first YouTubers I started watching was a guy by the name of Cryotic. Okay. Now he didn't use a face cam, but he did a lot of readings of like horror books and stuff, and he had this really good like ASMR type voice. You just listen and just drown yourself into it. But not only that, as he started to do other different types of games and everything, he was really interactive to the point where he made it seem like he was actually telling a story. He wasn't like the ones that would scream over the top of him and stuff. It's kind of like a weird calming way of how he did things. And then he was my gateway towards other type of YouTubers and stuff. Of course, the popular ones like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, and stuff like that. Seeing how those guys do things, and each person's got their own different style. Well, as I was starting to look at this, and I noticed that some of them kind of had like a fake feeling to it. There was like a different person behind it, but they had this like stage thing. And I've always been one of those persons, regardless of where I'm at, I'm a one-man bar crowd. So I was like, might as well do this. Let's just figure it out where I'm playing a game, and I want to make you feel like you're sitting on the couch next to me.
Yeah. Okay.
And so we're just, we're playing, I'm showing this, we're all laughing, I'm pointing and giggling, oh dude, that's awesome, that kind of thing. So just have like a really good like camaraderie, like you're sitting down with your best friend and just playing video games. And that's how I portray myself as, and that's who I am.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, if we were playing video games right now, we'd be doing the same thing right now.
So what would you say is your favorite type of game to play on streams?
Yeah, I have a lot of different games. Like I'll flip-flop before, like I'll find like little indie games to play, but I mostly play a lot of survival games. There's been that big wave the past like 3 or 4 years of just zombie games and stuff. So I've been playing 7 Days to Die. I've had that game since Alpha 2 on PC.
Oh, nice.
And so I've been playing that quite a bit. And then, of course, I've had my wife and I've met other YouTube streamers through that, and we'll play together and stuff. And that's been pretty fun. I've also been playing Dying Light. That's another big one that's even though it came out like 3 years ago, it's got a lot of staying power. I mean,
they're actually coming out with more DLC.
They have 10 DLCs from like small, like everything from like weapon drops, adding new enemies to like a complete another DLC, kind of like they had with The Following.
Yeah.
And so it's another big one, and then this one's supposed to have a watercraft in this one. So
yeah,
that adds
crazy.
another dimension.
I don't think I've ever seen a game this many years after, and not only that, but like you said with The Following, that happened like a whole year and a half after it came out.
Exactly.
It's unheard of. And besides like WoW, where that's been going for like 10 years. Dying Light and the funny thing is that if you go back to the reports, the makers of Dying Light actually reported that they were going to stop producing in 2016. Here we are, 2017. They're like, hey, you guys are still playing our game. You guys still love everything we do, and we want to, we want to give you something for all your good work. And so, 10 DLCs over the next year, which is just unheard of.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Techland has went leaps and bounds where they've had games like Call of Juarez, series.
Leaps and bounds. Sorry.
And not to mention with Dead Island, because Dead Island was their baby.
Right.
That's what really got them going on that. So they've taken all the mistakes and even mixed stuff from those other games and then put together a package that, when you first started playing, it's like, okay, this is good. And then you start digging into it and you think that creativity is going to drop off. No, it stays there the entire time. And then over the years, it's proven that it's still staying strong. Sure, every game has a little bit of a drop off or whatnot. It's never going to be as big as it was. But the fact that even the multiplayer is still going strong and the community behind it is really big. I mean, on Facebook and then checking out Techland's websites and stuff like that they have with it. It is a massively big game, and I still play it quite a bit. Actually, today I just finished up a live stream of Dying Light: The Following. I did the special ending that was in it and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Just to kind of show. I don't want to give any spoilers to it, but anybody can look that up online if they want.
Right.
So. But another game that I play is State of Decay. It's a sleeper hit. State of Decay, when it first came out, I bought it when it came out on Xbox 360. Mm-hmm. Then I bought it on Xbox One. Then they're like, "Oh, you need the Year One edition that came out." So I bought that, and I was like, "Oh." Then I got the special edition. And when I first started my YouTube channel, it was actually funny. I started a Twitch channel just so I could record the stuff off my Xbox One, so I can import it to YouTube.
Oh,
and I started doing that. And the night that I started, it was October 31st of 2016. So I was doing that. And the first person that showed up was a guy by the name of Big Ed. Apparently Big Ed is in his early 70s. He's an old guy. Uh-huh. But apparently he is the #1 guy for State of Decay. Oh, okay. And over the past few months, I've been keeping in contact with him. I go watch his streams and we talk back and forth. This guy is he didn't know for the longest time that he was the big guy for the community. And one time he's like, "Hey, you should go check out the Undead Labs and check out, in the community, see what's up." So he gets in there and they're like, "Oh my God, you're Big Ed." And he's like, "I only got 5 or 6 people that watch my stream. What the heck is going on?" But I mean, he plays the breakdown mode, which is the free mode that you can, the open sandbox mode where you can keep going and playing, and it gets tougher and tougher and tougher. And he gets up to level 99. I mean, the top you can get, and just he's been on the leaderboard in the top 10, always bounced between #1 and #10 all the time.
Oh wow!
And he's good. He's fantastic. So I've learned a lot of stuff to how to play that game from him, and it's pretty cool. And then I got to talk with some people on State of Decay. I got to talk with the press release people, and they're like, "Well, you've been playing this game. You bring quite a few people in there, and so we're going to do a few things for you. I can't let any cats out of the bag right now, though, but I'm expecting some really big things when that does release in first quarter of 2018."
State of Decay 2, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. 4-person drop in, drop out.
Oh,
there's things that you can keep, where you don't have to worry about people coming in and, causing, problems and breaking your stuff. Mm-hmm. Not to mention the ability to build compounds wherever you kind of want to instead of having individual stuff. Mm-hmm. And then the massive people creation stuff that you have where there's more RNG. There's some better perks, more perks. There's even more useless perks. As well.
Oh, okay.
So it makes it really realistic. So I'm really hyped for this. So.
Oh yeah, State of Decay and Sea of Thieves are the games that I want an Xbox One for because they look so interesting, and I mean especially the first one, State of Decay. I was able to play it a little bit, but it was back. I had a really bad laptop, and I didn't quite have the power I needed. So a lot of it was very like every once in a while, but it still got me so hooked. And it's like ever since then, it's just like, oh, I really wanted to play that. You bring up 7 Days to Die. That's actually one I played with my wife, and I never thought I would be able to get her into a game where it's, here, go dig a hole, go cut down a tree. And the funny thing is that I actually got her to play it because it was my birthday. And I'm like, okay, you have to play these games with me, and you can't say no because it's my birthday, and I want you to play with me. So one was Blood Bowl. She didn't really like that. But then somehow she got really hooked on 7 Days to Die. So it's like I'm actually going to get her own copy, and, because we were just doing it split screen on PlayStation 4. But, yeah, she got really hooked on it. What would you say is your favorite out of all of them?
Out of all of them? Ooh, that's a really hard one, because I do like, as much as I do like State of Decay, I do like the fact that there is, you can do a lot of the building stuff with, 7 Days to Die. You're more open with it. I want to see how State of Decay 2 does, and see if it kind of has that feeling to it. Mm-hmm. I know that the new game Fortnite kind of has that feeling where it's got that mixture of both. I've been wanting to try that out too. I gotta see how much I have in my Steam account to see if I can pick that up. But I'd have to say right now, 7 Days to Die. I said I've had it since Alpha 2, where it looked like a really bad Minecraft knockoff. I mean, it was bad.
Oh, yeah.
It was so choppy. Everything was blocky. There was no smooth textures. Mm-hmm. You basically had to jump over blocks if you were going up hills. But now with 16.2, since it's been out, the learning curve has definitely gone up from 15 to 16. So I suggest everybody that's on console that has Alpha 15 or what they call Alpha 10 or whatnot on the console. Once Alpha 16 hits for you guys, which I don't know when that's going to happen, you're going to see the learning curve and a lot of things that you're used to from the other alphas be completely gone.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Like, I've died 3 times in between Alpha 2 to Alpha 15. Once Alpha 16 came out, I died 7 times. The curve has gone up crazy, not to mention the ability they've added, like how many zombies you can have come after you on Horde Night. They've also added the ability where there's no longer just one feral. There is a feral white, though, is what they call it now, but every single zombie has its own feral variant.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, they have glowing eyes, they're faster, they're tougher, they can take a lot of stuff. Not to mention they did a little bit of restructuring on the weapons, like shotguns before were absolutely worthless. It was like you were shooting marshmallows at the guys. Yeah. Now you can actually do some massive damage with a good shotgun.
Oh, okay, good.
They've added things like turrets, electricity, so they're going in a real good direction. The Fun Pimps have added some more developers and stuff to be able to continue to grow their team to actually produce stuff. So I'm really excited. This game has probably been one of the best I've played in a while.
Yeah. Well, if I can spoil Fortnite for you, I really like it. I feel like it's a good mixture between the best way I can put it, because of its art style. It's like Dungeon Defender meets 7 Days to Die. Because you do have in Dungeon Defenders it's a crystal, but in this it's usually like you put up this big I think it's called the arc, I want to say. You put up an arc, and so then once you start the arc, you have like a certain amount of time that you have to survive. But you can basically spend as much time you want in that map before you even put the arc up. I mean, usually I think it gives you like 5 days before this really big storm comes and they have to pull you out, and then you fail the mission. But that 5 days takes like a really long time, so you can spend the entire time. And then not only that, like in 7 Days to Die, you can just like rip down an entire building. Wow. But I'd say it's a lot easier in Fortnite, because like in 7 Days to Die, like there could be like 2,000 for a single block, whereas in Fortnite it is a little bit more easy, because there's like only 600 HP for an entire wall. Oh, so it's a little cool. And I do like the aesthetic of it, the cartooniness of it, and there's like loot upon loot upon loot. Like that's the draw that's getting you into the game, is just picking up new loot, more rare loot and stuff. Like, I think if you like 7 Days to Die, there's a really good chance you're gonna like Fortnite.
Very nice. So I definitely have to try that out, because I mean I've seen some really good gameplay trailers of it. And I've seen other streamers play it. it looks great. And first, I had that grumpy old guy come out, I'm not going to try anything. It's just how it is for some odd reason. I don't know why. Just old habits die hard, I guess. But then you're finally getting to it, like, yeah, this is really good. I like this. And like, you were just griping about it just the other day, and I'm like, shut up.
Let me do myself.
Exactly. Make me some more coffee.
So, how many people watch you, and like, how do you keep up to date with them? How do you stay in contact with them?
Usually on average, because I usually do 2 streams a day and also put out a piece of content as well. Usually on my early streams, those are usually kind of slower. I'll get in between about 20 to 30 people on there, kind of sitting there. And then on my more evening streams and stuff a little bit later, I've had, on average, I usually get about 40 to 60. The most I've had in there was like 170 at one time.
Oh, cool.
And just coming in and just watching and sharing everything and stuff. And of course, you get your occasional troll in there that happens. So, I mean, that's always going to happen. That's never going to end. The best way how I get a hold of people and stuff is usually through Discord.
Yeah.
Facebook's not too bad, but it gets to the point where a lot of things that go on with the real life stuff kind of just muddles everything else. So then, next thing you know, you're trying to keep in contact with somebody, then all of a sudden you find something, like, oh, there's a linker ad. Dang it, you get caught up in that. So, so I don't use Facebook as much. I just started an Instagram. Haven't used that much because I've been not so much camera shy. It's just I don't use a cell phone or anything like that. So I've been using actually my own computer with the camera built onto it. So using that, so it's all right. I mean, it's just mostly just me sitting on the couch doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Discord happens to be one of the biggest ones because I've been able to keep in contact with other YouTubers that I've been in, that I've went and rated. Usually after an evening stream, my moderators and I will find somebody, like they'll go like 15 minutes before the stream ends, and they'll go find somebody that either has something like it or has like a really good personality, and they'll go watch them a little bit, see how it is, and then we'll go rate them. And we've done that. We've been doing that for the past 2 months, and from that, we've found some really like little YouTubers that were like only had like maybe 10 or 20, but nobody had ever seen them, and now they're like busting up to almost like 1,000 now. And there's even one that's even been catching up to me. He's got about 1,500. And one gal, there's a really nice Mormon couple that we play 7 Days to Die with.
Oh yeah.
And they're really cool and stuff. And we found her and him, and they were like literally like she had like 7 and he had like 15, and now she's almost to 1,000 and he's got about 600. So, and we've been playing, and I've noticed that they've been improving on their stuff too, and getting bigger stuff. And we play and have a great time. It's awesome. I've been really enjoying it. So it's the whole fact of that I'm actually it's showing that I'm growing not just myself, but I'm growing other people, and I'm bringing people in, because one thing I've learned is that YouTube is a community, not a competition, and I think a lot of people tend to forget that. And that's if you communicate with people, collaborate, do things like especially kind of like what we're doing here. Yeah, it really helps build that community atmosphere.
Yeah, the funnest thing I've had so far is just from season 1. Now we're here on season 3. I'm glad I'm able to get out there and talk to more people. But even just season 1 and 2. Getting those connections and getting to talk to people, it's a lot of background stuff, but it's still just so much fun because now, we have the opportunity to do like something for Extra Life. We won't go into too much detail yet, but we have this opportunity to do something for Extra Life. I have a personal investment in that. My daughter was in the NICU, so because of my connections, because of stuff like that, I'm going to be able to do something bigger than myself, kind of like you were talking about. And that's really cool. That's been probably one of the coolest things, is just really finding out that, I'm not alone. There's a lot of people here. And I think that's just been the funnest part about this, is seeing how many people are out there doing it, and they're making it their own thing, and figuring out what they're doing right, evolving it to myself and adapting and everything. And, it's just been a real fun time. No,
I completely agree on this. And I've had to actually overstep my boundaries on a few things, learn to grow, get out of that, that nice little niche that you get used to over the time. And then once you start reaching out to people across the world, you start finding people, it starts pulling the people in your own backyard to you, because you've had to find them through the other people that are out there. And I mean, that's how that one person came across. And hopefully, with this extra life thing, I'm really hoping that'll work. And that's exactly what I was trying to go for in the point, to do something to help other people. And this will help other people. I know we can't, talk more much on it right now, but at a later date, I know we will.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
as we find more details. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on the Dog Show. How can people get a hold of you?
Easiest way to get a hold of me. You can look me up off my gamer tag because I've had it for over 20 years. It's really easy. I don't change my stuff or anything, but it's MSGT Porkins, Master Sergeant Porkins, just the abbreviation of that, all one word. You can find me on Discord, Twitter, Xbox Live, PSN, Origin, Steam, you name it, Facebook. I go by that on there. It's just, if you look that up, you'll find me.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on the Deadly Operative Grunt Show. Make sure to go on to our YouTube and Facebook at Deadly Operative Grunts, or on Twitter at Deadly Op Grunts. Give us a like, give us a share, and check out all our other stuff we have going on. Every day of the week, we have something up new for you guys. We're really excited in September to start Mondays for you. And we just recorded our Zomcast, so I'm really excited to show you guys that. You can look for it on our YouTube or on SoundCloud, so look for that. This is the Deadly Operative Grunts, and we're feeling squirrely. Mother.
Triple Threat.